Everybody, welcome Candy from Candy Soul and Soil for my casual.
Hello, it was so lovely to be here.
It's great to have you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, wow, and I see the notice just popped, and this is delightful. And so we've got a list of things to talk about, and we will be, well, we'll just be chatting. And
Cool.
so we have an idea. Astaria Sen is here. Hello.
Hello.
Jamie, the lovely wandering mountain bardic
Jamie.
path is here. So MA the Gray has joined us.
Hi, MA.
And MA is doing this thing that I call work lurking.
Oh, cool.
So I completely get that. Lisa is here.
Hi, Lisa.
Lori Kramer has joined us. And and Rain is here. And Rain, Spiritual Rain, this is Candy. Candy, this is Rain. So
hi, Rain.
And C McMillan is here on time, first time ever. Congratulations. And you get a lovely little star for you.
Oh, my dog just burped. That wasn't me.
Okay. Which dog though?
He's looking at me to say, sorry, Mum.
Oh, that's cute. Jonathan is here. Jonathan Daly.
Oh, hi, Jonathan.
Look who's here.
Hi,
Kim. Hello. Ooh, first live I've been to in forever. I am glad you're here sharing it with us. That is delightful. Yeah, Rain oftentimes blames the dog, and she's like, just kidding.
Blame the dogs.
Yes. Pamela Batchelor is here.
Hi,
in my dream, I've already seen you guys together in my dreams. I thought it was so real. I'm happy to see you both finally. There you go. So, in the interest of time, and because Jamie is driving to an appointment, I sent Candy something with her permission, and she has agreed to open it live. And so there's some silly stuff in there, including some little things that I realized when I put them in. I didn't know if you'd be scared, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't peeked, I promise. I cut it all open so that I wouldn't be coping with sellotape.
Yes, there you go.
Right, there's a card. Should I save the card for later?
You can, yes. And Regina is here. Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
I'm going to show the front of the card, but I won't read it out. Cakes! Yoo-hoo!
I love Wayne T-Bode.
Okay, look at this after looking at the surprise it said inside the card. What? No. Jamie, are you sure? Are you sure you want to see now, Jamie? Are you sure?
Oh, look at that, Jamie. She's got her own tiny hands.
Now, why would I be scared? I wondered.
Yeah,
full of spiders. Full of spiders.
There you go. Yeah, avert your eyes, Jamie.
This is going to take forever to open. It's full of so many things. Right, in this envelope. Oh,
there you go.
So which way round is that? It's that way, isn't it? Oh, it's up.
Usually. There you go.
Let's see. We've got loads of moustaches. That's cool. Oh, I feel like I'm part of the club now.
Well, you started the club.
Oh, made by Regina.
There you go.
Oh, how lovely. I was listening to Regina do some tarot readings today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness me. Look at this.
Yay.
That reminds me of the Wizard of Oz, because I'm doing the 365 yellow bricks at the minute. And
Yes.
all the girls have just stolen all the emeralds out of the walls in the book we've just finished.
Mm-hmm.
That just reminds me of it. Look, it's the emerald green with all the jewels in.
There you go.
That's not all though in that. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. And
there
oh my
you go.
gosh, it feels like Christmas. It feels like Christmas on live YouTube. Regina, thank you so much. That is just beyond kind. Oh, that's so nice. Gerald, no. No, no, no. Gerald, no. Oh my God, you're going to make me cry. Oh, guys, look at this. This is the one that you held up that I loved, isn't it?
You have it upside down.
I haven't even looked at it myself yet. I'm trying to show
okay. Look at it yourself. Look at it yourself first.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Do you know?
So
okay, so okay. Do you know what that's from?
Is it from the picture of the beach in Aberystwyth when I put up the picture of the beach?
Yes.
Yes, I thought it's Aberystwyth at the beach. No.
And so I was so inspired. I actually created that just for you.
I looked at it and thought, that's the sunset at Aberystwyth as I was looking at it. I'm going to do that. I can't see you guys, but isn't that just the most beautiful thing? Gerald, there's so much work in that, and that is so amazing.
I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it.
More than like it. I'm more than like it. We've got a saying in our house, when something is more than like, when we're blown away, I'm going to cry. My kids say, I don't like it. I know, I don't love it. I superb it. And I superb it.
Aww.
Oh my gosh. I'm completely and utterly blown away. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you've got me at the point of tears on a live. We haven't even started yet. I love it.
And if I do this, you can't really see Candy, you know, even better. So, you know, but I actually have I have a video that I am putting together about how I made that. And I wanted to make sure that you got it first and that I had your permission to share it.
The back is beautifully tidy.
Well, I did do a lot of snipping of the threads on that. So,
well, you know, I'm a machine embroiderer too. That's superbly tidy for me. But I'm so touched, and the gorgeous jewelry as well from Regina. Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Doesn't seem enough. Sorry, I'll keep interrupting
it's
you.
Perfect. No, it's perfect. And I specifically, when I created that, as the pieces talk to me, I think, you know, as you're creating things, they might talk to you.
Yeah.
And so I was informed that I should not actually quilt it proper, put it between, you know, between two pieces of stuff, because it could be used as a reading cloth, either the front or the back of it.
Oh, it could.
Yes. And so you could also, it's meant to be used, and so you could just tack it up onto the wall with little thumbtacks. You can move it around. So
I think what I want to do is try and find a long enough piece of driftwood on the beach that it was inspired by, and hang it as a wall hanging from the driftwood.
Oh, wow, that'd be beautiful.
And then I can do like house stones and magic things in front of it, because it's already imbued with magic because you've made it. And you're magical. So it's got all of your magic in it. I'm so blown away. I can't even catch my breath. Okay. I'm done now. You can turn off. I don't think I can think straight. That's amazing.
So
I love
yeah,
it.
well, thank you. And what was so beautiful was, you posted it and it was like sunset at the beach, no filter required.
Yeah.
And you posted it, and I think it was made within 2 weeks after that, because
No.
it was like okay. And I took it and it was like amazing. And the process was great. So I have some progress photos that what I will do is I will finish putting that video together and doing some editing, and so that people
Oh,
can
tag
enjoy
me
it.
in it. Tag me in it when it goes up, because I absolutely do not want to miss it.
Oh,
That's
sure,
just
sure.
that's just so
So,
amazing. I love it.
so,
When I opened the package and saw the stitch, I could see the back of it, and I realised it was something that was stitched. And I know how
mhm,
much time goes into stitch work, because we're both textile artists, aren't we?
yeah.
We were talking about this before he came on. Little did I know that there was something in the package
Yes.
with
I was like,
stitching in.
ooh,
Oh,
okay, okay. So,
I love
but
it.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome, and thank you for being generous with the offering. So, um, okay, we've got a whole bunch of people here. So, hi everybody. I'm just trying to quickly go through. Okay, so, and there's Regina, still work lurking.
Oh,
So
Regina.
Donna Riedler is here. Yeah, isn't that great?
And look, it actually matches the bracelet I put on. And I was thinking, I wish I had a ring that matched to this bracelet.
Little did you know.
Did I
Little
know?
did you know. Yeah, Donna is here. Medium Betsy Palmer is here. Dancing Soul Sister, hello. And okay, yeah, the tiny hands. So you've got two sets of tiny hands, and Hershey is here. And yes, you have a stash. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, and Emma the Grey said it's day 52 in Oz.
I know, I'm a little bit behind. I think I'm on day 49. I've got to do some catching up.
That's all right. It works. Gorgeous.
Oh, isn't it?
Sabrina is here. Thank you. Ooh, Burning Hot Argentina.
Hello.
Okay. I'm
It is
and Regina said, I'm
stunning.
so glad you like them.
I superb them. I don't like them.
You superb them.
I
There you
superb them.
go. Well, Candy's birthday was what, 2, 3 weeks ago?
It was November, my
Candy's
birthday.
birthday was in November, so
It was the
it's
23rd of November, but I did some birthday videos because I got sent some stuff, but with our post store, it's really not
yeah.
good at the minute. And everything get to me in the last 3 weeks from November. So
Well, I was just really glad that, because trust me, I sent that with magic because I was like, I want this to get there. I want to
when
see.
you
So,
said to me, I posted you something, it should be there on the day of the live, I thought, no chance. That means it'll probably be here in like June. That's what our post has been like. But
mhm.
I full of magic already. What did I say? I said that.
There you go. We got it. So, yeah, and it is perfect for Candy. So lovely gifts, lots of, and
Yeah.
Zane is here, Tarot Token Witchery.
Hi,
Hello.
Zane.
And Candy, Peter J. Watts is here.
Hi,
Hello.
Peter.
Yeah, you fiber people are all the same. I love that. Thank you, Tarot Crow.
It is
Um,
stunning. I
so,
love it.
aw, I love giving things to people. It just is so wonderful. Okay, just getting caught up. Love this. Susan Eagley likes tiny
Hi,
hands, or Egley.
Susan.
So, all right. You're a Sagittarius, is that correct?
Yeah. First day of Sagittarius. I'm Scorpio cusp because I'm the 23rd November, which is the first day.
Okay. 23rd is February is mine. Says that says is that I'm old. Okay.
23rd. When's that? Because that's
That's like,
Thursday, isn't it?
yeah, it's
Thursday.
like crazy.
Because
Yeah.
Busby's, my son's is the 25th of Feb, so his is Saturday. I'll have 3 teenagers in the house then.
Congratulations. Everybody send calming vibes to Candy. I mean, well, and you just rearranged your house to so that he could have his own room for drumming or something like that?
Yeah, downstairs. That's why everything's crammed in here, because all my books and all the tarot stuff and all the witchy stuff had to come up to my bedroom, which was already crammed with stuff. But he's got a drumming room now.
But you know, okay, Candy, I'm going to heap some praise in your general direction, not going to do it too much, but the fact that you knew that it was a smart thing to adjust and change for your son to have his own space and to drum. You also did it for the neighbors too, a little bit, right? Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I love it. Susan said, 3 teens take all your vitamins, Candy.
I know.
Yes, yes.
I have to say, though, even with all of the additional needs in the house, my 3 teens are golden. So I'm not going to moan.
Hashtag good parenting in action, because I watched your well, I was backstage, people, when you were talking with when you were doing the tarot interviews with Regina Tarot and Wirecraft, and you're bringing the kids in to think about and to help them understand about goal setting. And I don't know about you, but I learn by example. And it's like, and to be able to have that conversation, it's like amazing. It's wonderful. So
yeah, it's everything to try and get. Well, not my middle daughter. She's just, I can't get her away from books. It's screens with like the boys. They're all like playing Fortnite and, you know, VR games. So it's just to throw something else in the mix, because when they're doing it, they love doing something else. But to actually get them past the inertia to get off screens, it takes something. So the goals are just like other things to do, like our night making paper aeroplanes, and, you know.
Yes, and that was great. I thought that was a wonderful idea, to give your son a book about making paper airplanes, and then you're doing them together and you're testing them and tracking, you know, how fun is that?
Full on competition.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, because I'm a Scorpio, I'm not competitive at all. Said nobody who believes
nobody
me.
Ever.
Yeah, said nobody ever, especially not Gerald. Peter J. Watts said, Candy's a wonderful mom and
Peter,
human.
thank you. That's the best compliment any woman could get, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so Candy and I were talking about, you know, magical things that we're enjoying. And we're also talking about things that bring us joy and how we're being creative. And I just realized I put a bunch out there, so I'm going to take a sip and calm the freak down.
Well, what did that say on the bottom of your cup? Drink again. Oh, that's so lovely.
I am an Easter egg. All of the hidden things, yes. And Jonathan said that he loves making paper airplanes, and paper airplanes are something that you and I connected over back in, I think it was it 2020?
Yeah, it's going back a few years now. I was trying to think about the origins of that, because people will have often seen our aeroplane emoji coming up in chat. And I don't think we've ever explained it to anybody, have we?
No, but I was doing the hashtag gratitude challenge 2020, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was using the tarot.
The bonfire you were using for that.
Yes, bonfire. And I kept noticing there were airplanes on some of the cards. And so I was talking about, you know, maybe it's just telling me to just go make a paper airplane and throw it around. And, you know, and it was like, so I just did it. And you caught that, you understood it. And it's just it's the secret, not so secret anymore. But little things like that, make it fun.
Yeah, well, you just touched my soul when you talked about it, and I thought, oh, this is somebody that gets the idea of like the magic of like you say, the little things, the everyday magic that costs nothing, that is
Mm-hmm.
really simple. It's connected to your inner child. It's like play, and if you just
Yes.
stop and do it and abandon the adult restriction for a minute,
Yep.
you'll have so much fun. Like me and Busby, we laughed so much the night that we spent making paper aeroplanes. The goal is actually to learn how to make every single paper aeroplane in the book, and then
Yes.
to see who wins out of the flight competition. So we made about 3,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to do like
Yeah.
20 flights, and I don't think I had laughed till I ate, and so did he, and he said that was fantastic. So
Yep.
just the joy of that, isn't it?
Absolutely. And Debbie777 missed the grand opening. So
Oh, right. Well, Regina, I've got tiny hands. Tiny hands, tiny hands.
yay.
And there were moustaches, which were over there, plastic spiders. Regina made me these beautiful pieces of jewellery. And a
Mm-hmm.
Wizard of Oz necklace. That will be forever my Wizard of Oz necklace.
There you go.
And then Gerald made me, I'm going to make sure I've got it the right way up, this incredible sunset machine embroidery. Can you see it?
And inspired by a lovely photo that you posted, this based on this. So there you go. Can
Oh
you see it,
my,
everybody? So there you go.
that's stunning. Oh, you're going to set me off for another 10 minutes going, it's stunning.
Well, and Spiritual Rain said that's why I made homemade bubbles the other day and went out and blew bubbles.
That's it. That's exactly the essence of our paper airplane emoji.
Yes, that's it.
That's it.
Debbie Aquarius Owl is here. Hello, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
So, and lucky girl.
I know.
Well, and it is one of those things. It's meant to be used, and so, and if it falls apart, it falls apart, and that's because, you know, it probably
I'm going to do
fall
sea
apart.
magic with it.
Nice.
And that's what I'm going to do with it.
Beautiful. So, and Jonathan said I have a book of paper airplane making and should pull it out and make them with my son.
So there much fun.
Yes. So that's where the paper airplane emoji comes in. So you'll see the airplane emoji and the hearts. It's just like, I see you. I see you. So, and everybody who is watching is subscribed to Candy Soul and Soil, aren't you? Really?
You're very good at doing that.
Well, it's true because, I mean, you know, and it's one of those things that I can tell when I watch your videos, you enjoy what you're doing, what you're creating. And it's like the signature of the artist out there. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And so, yeah. Raina's like, we sure are. Well, and yeah, I love it. Of course I am. So, but also in 2020, you got me thinking about my garden differently.
How's the garden coming on then?
Not well, but I was thinking about it, and Jeffrey and I we did do a fairy garden.
Did you?
Yes, we did a fairy garden, and we actually had we made a little sign that had a little chant on it, so to welcome all of the fae to live there. And this year we're going to go in and we're going to have to we need to upscale it. We'll say that. So things got away from me, and that's what happened.
This is the time of year where everybody's garden has got away from them, and it's just wrecked. It's that time of year. Unless you're out there all the way through winter, which I never am, because I need to recoup all the energy from the dogs in the garden.
Oh my gosh, yes. And Medium Betsy Palmer said, I loved Candy's tour of Glastonbury.
I so want to go back again this year.
And hi, Jezree.
Hi.
And oh, see, I maybe,
Yeah, definitely do it. Do it.
maybe. Yeah, I love it. Do it. Fairy garden, and I am planning one this year. Excellent.
Mm.
So, okay, received a phenomenal gift from my godmother today. She had a rose gold double mirror compact made and engraved for my magical
Oh,
uses.
nice.
Very nice. Very
Nice.
nice. Donna is also saying, yes, Gerald. Yes, please, Gerald. So,
I think even when your garden's a complete mess, because I mean, some of my garden tours, I just, even I'm walking around and I can see like the final vision in my own head. So I've got
mhm.
that playing kind of like it's a filter for me. But I understand that other people looking at it without that are just seeing like what the reality of it. And some of my garden tours, I've looked back and thought, oh my gosh, literally, I was showing people how everything is just destroyed or overgrown. But I think people like to see a garden in any, especially looking like that, because if you're always showing a perfect garden and you've done like tons of stuff,
Yeah.
people don't see the reality of it. It makes people feel rubbish. But if people can see like 1 month something's a complete mess, but there's a tiny patch over there that you've sorted, and then the next month there might be another tiny little patch that you've added to it, and you're kind of
Yes.
wading through the chaos. I think it's just a
Hmm.
bit more real, because I mean, I don't have a team of gardeners helping me, it's just me. So
Yeah. Yeah. This is your team of gardeners.
yeah,
And the dogs who like
suppose
to dig inappropriately in places and find, and to weasel out.
they have
So,
broken the gate again. They broke this. Rupert smashed the gate down to the lawn. So now,
uh,
to stop him from escaping at the top of the garden, I've piled all the patio chairs up to make a gate. And I'm just like,
have you had a conversation with him to make him
we've had
understand?
we've had words. We've
Okay.
had many words.
Okay. Um, I am Hershey asked, can you put a fire pit in a garden? Yes.
Mm.
Yes, you can. You can
Oh
put
yeah,
multiple fire pits in your garden if you manage them, as well as water features.
you can put anything you want in your garden.
That's
Well,
right.
within reason, as long as the neighbours can't see.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. And Jonathan didn't know you had two channels. So, Tiny Soul
Oh,
Whispers,
Jonathan.
all of the links are below.
Jonathan, it's about dolls. So if you don't like dolls, you don't have to stay.
Yeah. Yeah. Kathy Tortoiseshell Moon is here.
It's
Hello.
about things like Blue Boy.
Aw.
So I got to a point last year where all I wanted to talk about for a while was dolls. It's all I just got my Barbie collection out the loft. And that obsession that I had from like 20 to 30 just came flooding back. And literally, it's the only thing I ever wanted to say. It's the only words I wanted coming out of my mouth. And I thought, I can't do this on my other channel because people just wonder what on earth's going on. So that's why I started the second channel. I did it a little
Well,
bit, but I just thought I can't keep doing it. And I knew I wanted to keep doing it. So,
yeah, I understand. If the garden is a complete mess, put in those fairy chants and see the progression.
yeah.
But and so that was actually part of what I was doing. I was trying to cope with all of the changes in my life because I retired at the end of
Yeah, I
2019,
remember.
and then I had 3 months before the world decided to shut down, and it just spun me out of control in a way that I recognized, and so I could slow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So and that was okay.
So,
Linda,
how did your attitude change to the garden? Do you think it just made you see the garden as a possibility, as an outlet, or did it make you think about rewilding it a bit more? What did it make you do?
it made me feel a little overwhelmed, to be honest with you, because what's the delicate balance between what I want it to be and what it wants to be?
Mm,
And at that point, honestly, I couldn't figure out how to balance it. And so I think I have an idea now of, okay, this is going to be wild flower ish. Let's just do that and let's just enjoy that. And I have to, I've been having some dreams lately of seeing different things happening in the garden where there's like cardboard put down because
Yeah.
the garden wants to reset a bit.
Yeah.
And so I'm like going, I trust me, I have enough um, cardboard to be able to do that. And but then I also have to go, it's a lot of work up front. Here's the catch for me. I am not the most, I don't always show up when I need to. I miss the opportune time to do some of the things in the garden. I hear stuff going on and I'm like, well, I'm tired. I'll do that later. Instead of going, I'm tired and I'm going to go do this. And then it's going to become part of who I am. It's going to get my hands in that dirt. Is that making
Yeah.
sense to you?
Yeah,
And
but the good thing about the garden is it's a circle. There's always next year, and the
yes,
plants will grow regardless of what you do out there. So
yes,
the rewilding of space should take the pressure off, because
yes,
plants want to grow. That was the best advice I ever
yep,
got given. Plants want to grow, and if you leave it, you'll just get different plants growing that other people call
yes.
weeds, but weeds can be very beautiful too.
Well, they can be, yes. And I
Embrace
am,
weeds.
yeah, yeah, well, and I'm one of those people in the neighborhood. I like my lawn to be long. I don't want it cut really
Oh
short,
yeah,
so I'm not a
yeah,
manicured lawn person. I'm also a person when they're dandelions, I leave them. I actually cut around them so the bees have something to eat,
yeah.
and I
These
do
love
that on
them.
purpose.
I've
So,
been reading a book. Oh my gosh, this book is so brilliant. I started it yesterday, and look, I'm down to here. I know.
wow.
I just haven't been able to put it down. It's this one. It's called The Change. It's not over. It's time. And it's a book about which
Oh,
it's a fiction book about three women. They're all at a certain age, hence it's called The Change. But they've all had like sort of life kind of screw them over in some way, and they've all realized they're all witches. It's so good. I have no idea why I'm relating so much to it, but I am. But I mention it because the main character in it has realized she's got power over plants, and she let this amazing manicured garden like overgrow, and she does all these spells with the plants. And I just thought, I'm reading it thinking this is literally my blueprint for where I'm
I
going.
love that. I
It's so
love
good.
that. I love
Everybody
that.
read this book. It's so good.
And I have to say, it's one of those things that I love finding out about what is bringing people joy. You're loving
Yeah.
that book, and you're able to articulate it, and I completely love that. And my chat just jumped, and there's been some wonderful stuff in there. I saw. Okay, Wolfgirl Oracle is here, Dolly, and Dolly sees a puppy.
There's two on the bed. This one's Luna, and Rupert is over here. I keep throwing them off my bed and banning them from the bed, because I'm sick of having to constantly be washing my bedding, because I don't want my bed covered in dog hair. And the
Hmm.
kids all laugh and go, well, that's going to last about a day. And I just crumble every time because they sit crying because they want to get back up.
Yeah. And Wolfgirl Oracle said, I get that. The Wolfgirl Oracle for all things spiritual. And I have another channel where I obsess over squirrels.
Oh,
So,
excellent. I will find you when I get off this live.
and
What's the squirrel channel called? Tell us.
Wolfgirl Oracle, please link that in there. I made you a mod. Congratulations. You're now a moderator. Use your powers for good. So
You've got a spanner. It's like a magic wand for a
it
live.
it is. It
Mm.
is. Remember your moss, agates, and green adventurings for plant growth.
Oh,
Okay. No dig gardening. I did that and it worked
yeah.
well after the second year. Okay. So,
That's your cardboard going down. That's what it's called. The no
yep.
dig. But
No
the thing with
dig.
the no dig, I know it's really good for soil health. Sorry, we shouldn't really be talking about gardening. I know it's really good for soil health because it allows everything to settle and it doesn't keep throwing the nutrients out. But because I respond so much to putting my fingers in earth, I can't do it. And I've tried to do it and I
Yeah.
can't. And I end up just wanting to dig it all over and get my hands in there. And
I think what I'm going to do is because I did buy a tiller so I can till up this that, and I'm thinking about maybe tilling up the soil and then digging it up and putting some of the cardboard down below and then on top and then do some plants.
yeah.
So, but anyhow, so, um,
We want gardening
so,
videos now, Gerald. Sorry.
okay. I actually have, I'd rather be gardening.
Just didn't
And
realise what mug I'd got.
there you go. Well, and what I'll do is I'll name the garden Candy Made Me Do It.
Yes.
Actually it'll be Candy's Garden. How's that?
No, you can't do that. Gerald's
Candy's
garden.
Garden. So okay, and here's Wolf Gore's other channel. So
Cool.
it's in there. And okay. Can you redo the book info?
The
The
book
book that you were talking
info.
about.
It's called The Change. It's by Kirsten Miller. And it's got the great tagline, "It's not over, it's time." If you're a 50-something woman, that's the best tagline ever. And it's just these three completely badass women, and they get caught up in like a serial killer murder mystery. But Harriet, one of the main characters, is just plant magic. She's awesome.
I love that. And let me tell you, if I had my choice of people I want to be on their team, it's Crohn's.
Yeah.
Hands down. You want
Crone,
me to do what? Okay.
I think by the time you get to crone age, there's not a lot that would phase me now. And the biggest difference for me was I dropped all my naivety, and that makes you very clear-sighted. You can sniff things out a mile away, and it's just perfect for stepping into magic. I'm sure the change is like a spiritual rebirth, going through the change, and it pulls you into a completely different space.
Sure. And Kim is saying this is so inspirational. I have a blank slate and I get overwhelmed easily when it comes to gardening.
Yeah.
Hands up, even tiny hands up. I do as well. And what I would say is here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick 2 areas of my garden, and those are the 2 that are going to get the attention this year.
And the trick is to know that everybody gets overwhelmed with a garden. Everybody, even if you've got like a tiny little handkerchief space garden or a massive garden, there is a point where you look around and you just think, oh, I can't do it. But just know that plants want to grow. The bits that you aren't looking after grow and are happy and are doing their own thing, and it's all magical. Especially if you're like spiritual or witchy, it's nice to see what it wants to do. And then you just take on a little bit. But the thing is, it's like art. You enjoy the process. Just enjoy the process.
Yes. You all in chat are wonderful. I am this thing about Crohn's is like going, yeah, my body not so much. I get that. Card carrying Crohn.
Oh yeah, my back doesn't agree with me, but then
Well, here, one of the things that I did was I actually bought a pair of knee pads so that I could go out and do gardening and not have the pain in my knee.
There's a gap in the market because I need knee pads, but then with like a ladder to pull myself back up.
Get on it, people. Yes, I mean, look at that. Yeah, enjoy the process. Yes.
Yeah.
Paganism led
magic and art and everything. Enjoy the process.
Yes. I'm on the Crohn cusp. Have a cushion. I have a cushion for that. There you go. Well, okay. So this idea of lots of things are magic, and you are in your temperance year.
I am.
And so Candy and I were talking backstage, and temperance is a card that was challenging for you, but you're honoring it and you're playing with it and you're reading about it.
Yeah.
Hashtag, learn things.
Yeah.
So
it was a card that I didn't like very much because I'm a typical Sagittarius. I'm all or nothing. I'm doing everything like 1,000 miles an hour. I'm lying on the sofa with a blanket over my head, pretending it's not there to do. There is no middle ground. And I don't really like middle grounds. I get bored with middle ground ever so easily. And it always felt like a grown-up telling me off when I got the temperance card. You need to be more balanced, or being silly about this. So I only ever viewed the temperance card as a card I didn't like seeing, and it was all about balance. And then I started reading about it because it's my temperance year, and I realized that alchemy element, and it's like I visualize it now as a great big cauldron where you can bring all the bits of yourself and all the separate parts and the extremes of yourself, and you can put it together and meld it all together and find ways to do it beautifully. It's not about leaving anything out. It's finding ways to be patient and to slow it down and be more graceful about it, but to still do it all, to still go for the extremes. So I've been loving studying the temperance card because I do love loads of things. So
and I think, yes, I mean, you do love loads of things. I love loads of things. And I have to say, there's enough love for me to love all of those things.
yeah.
And I really think the magic is knowing which of those things to put next to each other and see what happens.
Yeah.
So.
And to see where the crossovers are. I'm doing a lot of thinking at the minute about the crossovers of art and magic as well, like finding the crossover points, the bits that when you put them in the cauldron together, they are already like a good fit. So, and I think for me, it's the time element, which I hadn't really associated with the temperance card, that idea of patience and not racing for something and still doing all the things, but being a bit more patient. For me, that it was the time bit of things I wasn't very graceful about. I was always like charging at stuff and then berating myself for running out of time or not getting enough done here. So I think when you think about temperance as being a little bit more graceful with the middle line, for me it's about not doing that with the time element.
Yes.
Because if you love lots of things, it's not having the time for it all that's the killer. So.
And yes. By the way, Chris from Elemental Cartomancy has come in. And Chris, you're late. You missed the unboxing. Candy got a special gift.
Look, I'm going to show it again. I don't care. Chris, look what Gerald look what Gerald made me.
There you go.
Isn't that gorgeous?
An original wall
Sunset.
hanging inspired. So there you go.
Love it.
Maruda said, I see temperance as a connections card.
Yeah. In which way? Like connecting all the things you love?
Maruda? I mean, I'm Jonathan's also in a temperance year. So is it oh, thanks, Chris.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
So, well, so okay, so I'm English witch in French. Not too late. You're not too late. I'm glad you're here. Make sure you like and subscribe to Candy's channel. Links are below. So okay, well, obviously lots of things bring you joy, don't they?
Yeah, loads of things. I've got my dolls. I tell you what I've been loving recently. I have been loving doing Sylvain's 365 yellow bricks, which I mentioned earlier. So I've been using the Wandering Star Tarot for that. I've been loving this deck, and I've just been loving reading the books because the first book was really like tiny, but the whole film was in that first book, and there's like another another 18 books to come or something. But I've got something in front of me. Look what I got on the desk in front of me. Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that.
Can't they? I've got a whole box of them, actually. I've got to open the rest of them.
Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. And I have to say,
fantastic.
the idea of doing what Sylvain has come up with is brilliant.
It's been phenomenal. And the way he links it and then throws in twists and then he loops back to old days. And I would say if anybody wanted a really lovely reading challenge, I mean, the reading bit of it isn't that huge because the chapters are only like 3 or 4 pages. So it's a chapter a day for a whole year will get you through the whole of the Wizard of Oz books. But the tarot questions and the journal prompts he's given have been so good, and they've kind of looped back, and there are main spreads that build throughout the book. And the second book, we had 2 main spreads build, but everything kind of linked. It's just been phenomenal. So I would suggest to anybody, even if they didn't start at the beginning, if they wanted to join in, you could join in.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
and
all
pick up
up
right
there.
where, yeah. And by the way, Longman Tarot is here, Richie.
Hello.
And you are with Richie on
Friday.
And you're talking about journaling.
Yeah, talking about journals.
I mean, come on, people. This is awesome. Candy's making her world tour this week. So, and we're all lucky. We're all very lucky. So
I'm trying to be braver. I'm trying to be braver and to not be scared of lives.
Well, you're awfully sweet for being here with me, and I know it's a bit overwhelming. So getting lots of gifts thrown at you.
Oh, they're stunning. Let me show you what else I've been loving then, seeing as we're talking about things I've been loving. I got, this was another birthday gift that I got sent that didn't come till January.
Insomnia?
Yeah, I'm loving it. Oh my gosh. It's so fab. And it just, and I'm also, I tell you what it reminds me of. Have you seen the movie The Piano?
Yes.
It reminds me of the piano. And that's another thing that I've been doing that I'm loving. I'm relearning to play the piano. Because I've got the piano downstairs. I've just ignored it for years. And I've even booked somebody to come and tune the piano. And I've been trying to learn the soundtrack from this film. This film, I say, pointing to this day, from the piano movie. And then I started working with this, and it kind of all just kind of melded in together. And I thought, oh, it feels like I'm literally in the film.
Emma de Grey said that Somnia Tarot scares me a bit, maybe someday. Well, and I actually have the Somnia Tarot. And if in the future you would like to do a deck casual about that.
Oh, yeah, me.
Yes, you.
Oh, I thought you were talking to somebody in chat.
You.
I'd love to. Yeah, no, I would love to. I'm looking. If you wonder what I'm looking for, I'm wondering where I put my Into the Lonely Wood. Anybody else do this? You get a box and it's empty. You think, what have I done with the cards?
I've never done that.
I've been pairing the Somnia with the Into the Lonely Woods Oracle, and it has been absolutely fantastic. Oh, there it is. It's because I've got so much stuff on the desk. Oh, you would not think they would go together, but they so do. It's been so good. So my word of the year is story, and I wanted these two decks to help me kind of find stories that I was still holding on to in my subconscious that were not necessarily relevant anymore, and to find ways to explore them and what new stories might be better to replace them with or to update them with. So it's been so good. So I've been pulling an oracle card, and then I've been pulling, so that's given me the theme, and then pulling one card for, this is the old story that fitted in with that, and this is a better updated story.
Oh, nice.
And then just journaling around it, and it's just been so brilliant. It's been so good. It's just simple 3-card spread. And I've been sitting with them for, say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and really sitting with whatever cards have come out. And these 2 decks have been brilliant together.
Excellent. And Xantha Leaf is here. Hello. Hello. Hi, everyone. People discussing some terrific topics here. And yeah, and go ahead.
I've got my little troll tarot card holder out just for you here. But the card that it's holding, somebody said, I ran out of time to make one of them. I wanted to make one, so I'm going to just do that.
Yeah. And Candy likes trolls, and she was the one who inspired me to actually finish and do this. So, you know.
Somebody sent me they've got a proper version of this now, but they got sent a, what's it called, a non-finished version of the Song of the Grandmothers.
Production or something. I know what you mean.
The prototype. They got sent a
prototype. Yes.
But because they'd now got the original, they didn't want the 2 decks, and they said, "Have you got the Song of the Grandmothers?" It is called Song of the Grandmothers, isn't it?
Okay.
Is it?
I don't know.
Anyway, she sent me her prototype, and I thought, oh, this is really lovely. And I thought, right, I'm going to pull 1 card from it just to see what our relationship is going to be. And bearing in mind what I just told you about my word of the year and why I picked it, look what I brought out. It says, Grandmother Pearl, love and forgiveness, change the narrative inside, see a new story.
I love that.
I was so blown away, considering the word of the year is story, and it's all about changing narratives.
It's really interesting. Sunny DD is here, and that's interesting because I had Isaac Boos on my channel, and one of the things we were talking about is retelling our story. How do we retell our story, and how do we reclaim it? And it's something that is just fascinating. The fact that your word of the year is story, and that exercise that you're doing, and you know, okay, what's the old way and what's the new way? There's so much power in it.
Well, I was realizing that there were old stories still in play because I was stuck in some repetitive patterns that I didn't want to be stuck in anymore, and I just couldn't find a way to not keep falling into the same old grooved track. And I thought there's got to be a narrative playing subconsciously somewhere, because I feel like a different person, but it keeps happening over and over. And I know we all have bad habits that we keep falling into, and I just thought I just want to explore what those stories are and try and drop some, because I think a lot of our stories we didn't even write ourselves, we were given them by other people, and that's the problem.
Yes. And that's one of those things that back in 2020 I was doing some daily writing every day, and that's where I had the X's all on it. And it's an important story that's about empowering and making things magical that I didn't necessarily think they were magical, but guess what? They are.
Absolutely. Magic in the everyday.
Maruda said temperance connections, being in the flow with those synchronicities, for those synchronicities. I love that. And Sunny DD said, Candy has inspired me to question the stories I've told myself over time and the stories that others have tried to keep me in.
Yeah, really stories powerful. As prisons. I mean, there's so much to explore around the word story. You know, and should we go storyless for a while? How difficult would that be to do? To drop all the stories and to just go, right, what am I now?
And you do a lot of journaling with this then. So journaling is an important part of that process.
Yeah. So. Oh, yeah. I mean, the journaling has gone off the scale so far this year, just because like Sylvain's Yellow Brick project is a lot of journaling daily. Plus I've started using my altar a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
again, because I realised it was all covered in dust, and I thought, what?
How
So
did
I've been
this
sat
happen?
with, yeah, how did this happen? Where did the time go? So I've
Mm-hmm.
been doing like journaling with the weavers again, and yeah, so, and then journaling around the word of the year as well. So there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of journaling going on, but I'm loving it. I think it's so useful.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a YouTube channel called Struthless. He's a young guy. And he's brilliant, and he does a lot of talk about like self-improvement. And he gave just a really simple idea for journaling, which I think works so well. Just at the end of every day, before you get into bed, just to answer 2 questions: what built me up today, and what drained me. And he said, if you answer those 2 questions every day for 30 days and see the patterns, it could, like, it'll transform everything and act on them.
Wow.
So
That's incredible. That's
and
incredible.
just 2 simple little questions.
Yeah. Okay, you were moving something into in front of you. Were you moving some journals or something in there? I'm
No,
so
I got
curious.
some artwork, because you were saying like, what are you loving at the minute? And I've been loving doing my Sheila Nagig drawings.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, so they're kind of like mixed media drawings. There's all sorts going
Uh-huh.
on in there. But last year I gave myself the goal of working with wax pastels. Oh my gosh, I've literally, I was drawing before it was time to go live. I've got a sketchbook in front of me. It's now buried under things, because a lot of the time coming up to last year, a lot of my work was ink work. Hang on, let me get a piece of ink work.
Mm-hmm.
So this sort of thing,
Ah, uh-huh.
which takes an awful lot of time, especially when you start putting colour into it. Like
Mm-hmm.
stippling ink work just
Yes.
takes a long time. And I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted something a bit freer. So last year's goal was to just try wax pastels, because it was the furthest away from precise stippled ink work that I could possibly think.
Uh-huh.
And I've carried on with it this year, and I've been doing these Sheila Nagig pictures with it, but putting it onto mixed media. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, and it's just been so much fun. I
I
have.
love that.
I've been loving it. So these are what I've done since the start of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But like you say, it speaks to you, doesn't it? Like things start to emerge out, and it goes in its own tangent, and like
Mm-hmm.
different things come in, and
That's great.
so I've
I
been
love
loving
that.
doing that.
One of the things that I was doing is I was doing creating bibliomancy
Oh yeah,
oracles and things like that. And then suddenly, I don't know how it happened, but my Amazon orders kept coming with stickers in them, and I don't
what?
know how they showed up
That's
in my
bizarre.
cart. It was so weird. Um,
Manifestation magic.
yeah, I don't know, but I have been taking journals and
Oh,
doing stuff like this with it and making them into oracles.
oh, I love it.
So, and these things have, little pieces of paper so they can be added onto, and just lots of fun.
I love
Um,
that.
and
Would you ever
so,
consider photographing or scanning those pages and actually making a deck?
um, I
Or is
have
it
an idea.
just,
I have an idea for, actually, I have 2 ideas for a deck. But they're not based on this. These would be, I think these would be great oracles to where, keep a question in your mind and then go to a page and then look at that page to see how that answers
oh,
the
that's so
question.
cool. I
And
love that
so,
idea.
and yes, I am making some videos to show some of these things. And so, I mean, and stuff like this. I mean, come on. There's 2 or 3
Thank you.
stickers involved in that, and it's just great. It's like boom.
I can see
So
the textile artist in you, that juxtaposition of different materials all
oh
coming
yeah.
together. That's Temperance card right there.
Yep, you got it.
Mm.
Candy, did you have a new Sheila Nagig journey plan for 2023?
Yeah, I mean, I I'm almost thinking I might go out tomorrow actually, because it's half term here, and
Mm-hmm.
my kids are at their dad's this week because we take it in turns for who has them for half term. So they left on Thursday at 4:30, no, Friday at 4:30, and I spent like a day and a half asleep. Yes, just like wiped out. I just slept. I thought, all right, I can have a little snooze. It's about 5 o'clock, and woke up like 16 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've done that, and then I've done housework, and then I'm thinking, gosh, it's now, what day are we on? Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Tuesday.
I think it's Tuesday, and I thought tomorrow I might go out and do a Sheila and a gig. I mean, I'd love to do about 50 Sheila and a gigs this year, but it's fitting it in.
Mm-hmm. Well, and yes, it is fitting it in, and it's it's balancing all of this. It's when
It is
doing it and making the decision and trusting your intuition. It's like, you know what, stay home and make that chicken soup, or leave the dishes and go outside. I mean, it's always a balance.
But it's brilliant because these pictures are from it's from the initial conversations, not only with the Sheila and a gig, but like the place, the landscape where it was, and then the conversation that evolves as I'm actually doing the art. And then it gave me this, like both locations had water by them. One was like a stagnant pond and one was like a flowing stream. And it gave me that idea of like a lake and then lifeboats and all sorts of things. And before I came on, I was just sat like drawing this.
Oh.
And it's becoming more like a symbol for something else.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, it's like done a quantum shift again, and I've got like another 1,000 ideas coming in from just that one. So, and that's just from 2 Sheilas. So I'm sure if I go to another location, it's not only the Sheila and the tarot reading, but the actual omens and the signs and everything in the landscape.
Yeah. This is my journal for my my oracle deck that I want to create, and I have different symbols, and I was drawing some of them, and then writing down what the meanings could be, and I was overthinking it, and it wasn't just until last week when I realized, Gerald, don't make it more challenging than it needs to be. Look at the symbol and then just open yourself and write down what the meaning is. In that moment. And I was like going, oh, I am totally an overcomplicator, and just lean into it and do it. And so
I always keep like a notebook next to me when I'm drawing, because I have to write down what it's saying. Like as I was drawing those shapes I've just told you, I literally grabbed a scrap of paper out my drawer because it said a sentence to me. I thought, oh my gosh, and my memory's so bad. I thought, if you don't write that down immediately, you're going to forget it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and Jesri mentions that I did a silly casual with Purple Elephant Deb H, Longman Tarot, Jamie, and I. And Dream Detective Kate asked, if we were to make a new tarot card, what would it be? And for about an hour and 10 minutes, people kept putting things in, and it's like they're just funny, and it's going to make a great oracle deck. So I've been watching the video, and it's things like, really, you're asking again? That's the card.
that would be the one that would come out constantly for me.
Yes. And my friend, one of my friends just told me about, said, what I would really love to see is a card that says, no, you are not going to meet a tall, dark, handsome stranger. and Jeffrey, in his infinite wisdom, said, is that a rhetorical question?
Because, mine would say, did you do the work from the last time you asked? Did you do any work?
Boom.
I know.
That's good. That's good. Bye. Good to see you. Thank you. So, but I think that's it's so incredible.
That sounds
Boy,
like an awesome deck. I'd buy that deck for certain.
well, and we were being silly about, apparently Richie would like me to hand make an art quilt bag for every single one that is sold.
no,
So
no
like
time
that'll
there then.
happen. Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, just whip those out, and then just make like a journal for everybody. Yeah, everybody can have a journal, because I have actually been taking blank journals and adding ink to them, and different colored inks, and creating backgrounds.
Oh,
Um,
lovely.
so you end up with something like this, and then you can add to it.
Yeah, love
So
that. Oh,
so
those
it's
are
a lot of fun.
cool. Look at those.
So
Yeah, I
they're
like
fun.
that.
They're
You could
fun.
write on that as well. Do you have white pens and silver and gold pens?
I do, and I thought at one point, I could just make some of these and then just sell them, but I haven't gotten that far. So,
Yeah.
because I don't want to slow down the flow. So it
Mm.
could be, Jonathan, like the Rebel deck. Name of the deck, enter at your own risk. We were having far too much fun with it, Candy. Far too much fun. So no, and that I can't say that. That's not true. We were having a great deal of fun with it, and we were laughing, and it certainly raised everybody's mood. So
Good.
it's like, yeah, and um, Dolly is heading out, so bye. Spending time with
Bye.
family. Yeah. Um, okay, we've been talking for an hour and 6 minutes, so I'm like, I'm going to
Where
take a
has
sip.
that
So
time gone? I
I,
do not
I
know
don't
where the
know.
time's gone.
Well, it has been full of wonderful things. Um, so you enjoy pairing decks, Oracle and Tarot,
Yeah.
and use them, and you do lots of videos with those. And so hello,
Hi, B.
um, B. One of the videos that you did is you were they coffee house decks? The video about coffee house decks, where
Yeah. Yeah.
and you were talking about the inner child cards,
Oh,
which
yes. The Isha
which
Learner
I have.
ones.
Yes, the I have those. That was my first tarot deck that
Really?
I owned. Yes, that a friend gave to me, and I love how you were talking about bringing it out with the Thoth, and the
Yeah.
Thoth was talking back to you. It's like, oh no, you don't, and you were like going, oh yes, I do,
It,
and you
it
won.
it made me laugh out loud because I've never heard a deck, like the voice of a deck, so loudly, like so externally. Because I was up at
Hmm.
the caravan and I just grabbed a few decks from here to go up to the caravan with, and I wanted to pair, so my selection was quite low, and I thought, wonder if I put the Thoth with this one, and the Thoth just kicked up such a stink. It's like, no way. And I think it's because the Thoth was kicking up a stink. I thought, right, I'm going to put them together. And I was like,
Hmm.
can you just be quiet and just try it? And literally, I was saying that to the deck. And I put them down, and it was just such an immediate kick ass pairing. And the message was like, oh, okay, wow. And the Thoth was kind of like, oh, right now, who's laughing? Because I think the Thoth just suddenly realised, oh, us two together can really,
Yes.
do some messages here. But it was a real surprise, and I love that combo because it's not a combo that you would
Mm-mm.
think of at all, but it's just always brilliant. And I can't even show it in a video like the coffee house decks without every time I'm blown away by it, like the visual
Yeah.
synchronicities. It's just
Hmm.
incredible.
Yeah.
So I know Dawn Michelle puts them together now because she said she saw it and she couldn't believe it.
I love that. Well, and I think there is I think it's underrated, or I think people are now just discovering the importance of the visual connection between decks and cards. When you're
Yeah,
reading, when you have the same elements that show up, there is a connection, and
yeah.
allow that connection to come across. It's truly a beautiful.
I was watching you earlier. I don't know whether it was live, but I don't know whether I'd caught it live because I was in the middle of doing a job and you came on. And it was a video you were doing with Jane, like readings with Jane, and you pulled two cards up and they both got the same shape. And Jane went, "Oh, look at the shape of those there."
Yep.
And I thought, I love it when that happens, when it's like two
too.
totally different cards, but there's something like a surface feature of art that grabs a message as well. Two other decks. Have I got time? Have we got time, Gerald?
Of course, I'll make time.
Two other decks that were a massive surprise right in front of me. I've already shown the Wandering Star Tarot because that's what I've been using for the 365 yellow bricks. But I had the Dark Mirror out.
Okay.
And it was incredible. The card that I pulled from the Dark Mirror literally fitted in with the meaning of the first bit of the 365 yellow bricks. It's over there, the card. It's the Colourless Angel, which is all about like losing yourself in the mist and all the colour draining out of you to the point that you've lost yourself totally. I mean, it's quite a hard hitting deck, this Dark Mirror. And then the first chapter of The Wizard of Oz was Dorothy talking about how everything's gone grey in her life, like where she lives in Texas. The whole thing was about going grey. And I just read the same in the Dark Mirror. So that has blown my mind. And,
that's incredible.
And it's done the same thing with a card on my altar as well. And I thought, oh my gosh, this message is still coming out across all the decks. Then when we changed books, the theme of kind of the second book of the Yellow Brick Project was kind of about reconnecting with your inner child and who was the child that you should have been or were or got lost along the way. So we did day one of book 2 and I thought, I'm going to try the Dark Mirror again, although these two decks should not go together. And I pulled the child I was meant to be. Which just again fitted in like so incredibly well with what we were working on. So I mean, I don't think they go together at all, like visually. This time, but the messages of them, oh my gosh, it makes me go goosebumpy, like the messages of them. So I think it could be visual or it could be, just the way they talk to each other.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point because sometimes they connect visually and sometimes we have to work a little bit more and they connect through the meanings and then that depth of connection shows up and it's like, okay. Okay, so hello, new subscriber, Info Entertainment 999. And Viviani is here. Hello, thanks for being here. Calla Lizzie is here. Hello. So Kim said that that deck, the Dark Mirror, I almost got rid of it twice. Now it is such a special deck. I work with it on a regular basis.
Yeah, it is really good. I like it more now that I've slowed down the pull of the cards because I used to pull like cards regularly if I was working with it, but it's not got loads of cards in there and I just found that was kind of hindering me, whereas now to like pull one card and to use it for the entirety of say one of the books we're reading and then to pull another card, like I'm about to pull a third card from the beginning of the year. And it's been brilliant. But the first card, like I say, I pulled it out today and put it back out on my altar because that message came up again. And it's really surprising. So obviously that card's got a message to tell. But I think what Kim was saying there about like sometimes you go to get rid of a book and then a deck rather, and then you come back to it later. I found that with decks. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of decks, even if I think, oh, this needs to go. I don't think I am because I've had that happen with decks. I've thought, oh no, this isn't really for me. And then 2 years later, something's prompted me to go to it and I pulled it out. It's just been profound for a month.
I think that's really important. I believe that decks come to us come to me for a variety of reasons. And sometimes by chance, sometimes by calculation. And then it's like, okay, I don't know about this. And I put it away for a while and let it marinate. And lo and behold, it'll show up. And so there's really only like 2 decks that I'm moving out of my collection, and I'm okay because I'm moving them to somebody who wants them. I've done my due diligence, and I'm like, going, yeah, okay,
good to go now.
yeah, yeah. Calla Lizzie's like, getting rid of decks. What is that? I don't understand the concept. Nor do I often. Nor do I. So, but
and you don't think you'll obsess about it and want it back? Because that's what I did. I got rid of one deck, and then I keep thinking, should I have got rid of it? And it almost becomes like a little obsession.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't. I mean, everybody knows me. I mean, I added 64 decks to my collection in 2020 alone.
Yeah.
And that was a lot. And
we all
I'm like,
didn't we? Didn't we all do that in 2020?
Yes. And I think, at this point I'm now actually okay with having this idea of, I know what kind of cards I like and that I'm drawn to. And if I look at something and it's not that, then I stop looking at it. I'm not trying to convince myself.
Yeah.
It's just like, and it's, there's nothing wrong with that. It is just what it is. So, I mean, and that being said, I did add some incredible decks in 2020. I'm not going, it was a good year, and a whole lot of decks have made it through. So, but yeah. Wow.
2020 was my first year buying any tarot decks. So, of course, it coincided with being in lockdown and having nothing to do but, twiddling your thumbs and look at Amazon. And the passion for wanting to learn tarot had already grabbed me at the end of, the year before. And I just thought, oh, let's just get some decks in. And but then it was a bad year, really, to be hit with the bug. And of course, when you're new, everything's new. So all these decks that everybody just thinks are just, oh, everybody's got that. Everybody's got Ride Away. Everybody's got this one. Of course, I had none of them. So
yeah. Well, and I'm a person who, I know this is gonna surprise everybody. I'm a person, if you tell me that I'm supposed to like something, I will not like it, because you told me I'm supposed to like it.
Yeah. Are you sure you're not a Sagittarius?
No, I'm a hardcore Scorpio. I'm it's like, no, don't tell me. And I'll say it here. I read the first 2 Harry Potter books, and then I was like, okay, I mean, we'll give it time. I listened to them later, and they're great. So, but
I love Harry Potter. Everybody knows I'm a really hardcore Harry Potter fan. However, the books could have done with a bit of editing, I think.
Yes. And edit is my word of the year for 2023.
Oh, is it?
It is. And so I have been very carefully looking at things in my world. I'm not putting any limits on anything, because I don't do well with limits, but I'm looking at things and I'm going, do I like this? Does this add something, the Marie Kondo, whatever, and does this bring me joy? I that's a serious question. Am I glad to have it here? Yeah, does it spark joy, or does it feel like a weight? And it's like, okay, and if it feels like a weight, I'm like going, all right, let's lighten up the load a little bit.
Yeah. So, well, there's that emotional cost, isn't there, of having the stuff around you? It does feel like a weight. Do you think you're going to be decluttering then?
I have been doing some decluttering, and it has felt very nice, and I have set very realistic plans on how to do that. So things like, it's 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
That's it. And if I just show up and do the 15 minutes. Great. I set a timer. Great. 15 minutes. And the timer hits. And sometimes I'm like, that's over. I am so done with that. Or, you know what? I was so involved in what I was doing, I didn't even hear the timer go off. And it just feels so enlightening. It's like, ooh, there we go.
And 15 minutes of decluttering can make such a big difference to a space.
Yes.
What I did, because I decluttered last year, I put a big cardboard box in my porch on top of my tumble dryer, which is in my porch. So out of the house, like out the front door in the porch. And in those like 10 or 15 minutes, I would just grab everything, and anything I wanted to get rid of, it went in the box in the porch. So it was already out of the house. And then when the box got full, I just put it in the car and took it to the charity shop.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Michelle Marie said, Astrological Tarot said, so true. Many people got into tarot due to the pandemic. I started taking classes in 2013 during a crisis. Tarot is such a wonderful tool for personal introspection.
It really is.
And well, I met Jamie. Well, I met all of you through YouTube through the pandemic, and I have really deepened my ability to read tarot, and people were curious about it, so I leaned into my discomfort and decided to do things like Tarot the Stash Way, where I talk about, this is how I look at this card. You do you. I mean, and I learned so much from people. It's really, truly amazing. And now I'm actually going, well, you know, I could create an oracle deck.
I love that phrase you just used, leaning into your discomfort. I love that, because it's like pushing your comfort zone, isn't it?
And for me, it's so important to lean rather than charge, because a lot of times, not a lot of times, sometimes when I've charged, I've hit that and I've bounced back so far, I've lost my footing. So instead, when I lean into it, it's sort of like, I imagine it of like being in a bubble, and I just want to lean forward a little bit, and suddenly the bubble starts to move forward, and I can get my footing and I can keep moving and be okay with that. And you know,
I love that.
So I have to be kind to myself.
You've just given me something to add into my growing understanding of the temperance card, because a lot of the temperance card reading that I'm adding in is that idea of gracefulness, that the middle path doesn't mean you can't do the things around the edge, just means find a calmer, more graceful way of doing it, and leaning into the things you want to do. I've just added that in.
I love that. Well, and it's something that I learned about the Wheel of Fortune recently, is that when we are to the center of that wheel, we still turn, but we don't get as discombobulated as if we're outside. So the more I'm grounded and I'm in touch with who I am, and as a human, as a spiritual being, I can go with the flow. It's instead of fighting against it.
And so that imagery of the wheel and getting into the center of the wheel and not being on the edge always reminds me of Tilly when she was little and we used to go to the play park. Because of her disability, she would always approach the equipment slightly different to all the other kids, and the roundabout that you spin with all the other kids hanging off, she would always sit in the middle and like go upside down and put her head on the middle part of it. Something about the sensation in her head, but she wasn't also spinning as much. So whenever I see the wheel card comes out, I always have this overlay of an image of Tilly on a roundabout as a baby in the kids' play park.
I love that. And see, and that's, I think, the beauty of tarot and oracle and being a spiritual person. When we bring our own experiences to it, it makes it louder and more colorful and more joyous and more energetic. And it's like,
it makes it a living and breathing entity.
That's true.
Rather than just a study in meaning.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Mm.
true.
And then
My
you can
goodness.
see it everywhere, which is lovely.
And yeah, and oh, okay. So something I've learned recently is just because I see it doesn't mean I have to understand it.
Isn't that just life?
Well,
That's my everyday waking. That's my state. Is there any other state apart from that?
yeah. Well, but for me, I want to understand something. I want to know what it means. And
Yeah.
so I've gotten okay with just recognizing it, and I don't have to understand it.
Mm.
I try to see it and recognize it, if that
Mm.
makes sense. It's this
Yeah, it
idea of
does.
is like going, it's like it's really important. This, it's that idea of recognizing what's going on and seeing
Mm.
it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's boundaries or oh, okay, here you go. Yeah, so I don't know if it's maybe it's my own boundary and being an empath that I'm certainly okay with just recognizing and enjoying. And in fact, sometimes I watch YouTube and I see people doing things I would never want to do with tarot or oracle or their adventures, but I'm fascinated by the joy they're exuding.
Mm.
It's like, whoo, that is so much fun. And
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, that's cool.
That's crone. That's crone energy, where you've got enough wisdom to sit back and go, I don't get that, but I love the fact that you love it.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
that comes easier as you get older.
And I am older,
Oh,
and I'm fabulous too, by the way. We'll just say that. Everybody knows that. I,
everybody knows you're fabulous, Gerald,
aw. Well,
because you are.
well, thank you. And so are you.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, I have enjoyed your company for an hour and 27 minutes,
Oh,
and
it's gone so quick.
it has. And Candy and I will be figuring out some things. Candy and I
All of
will be
those
figuring out
things.
some, yes, all of those things. Probably not at the same time. But and I think thank you for everybody for being here and for watching.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And I will put a video together about the creation of that of your lovely art quilt.
Oh, yes.
So
Again, thank you so much to Regina and to you. I'm just blown away. Really
so
blown away. I love it.
so
Look at that.
but when we get inspired, when we can do something with that inspiration, I think that adds magic to the entire world.
Yeah,
So
totally.
I think it's incredible. So
I love
we will
it.
sign off. And you are, well, first of all, what do you have coming next on your channel? Or
Hopefully a Sheila and a gig adventure soon. So Adventure Tarot coming up.
mhm,
I am doing a few more things around books. I'm reading this storathon at the minute, so there'll
mhm,
be some more books shared, and I'm going to start doing some art studio vlogs as
mm.
well.
I need to do some of that too. You are with Richie on Friday
Richie, yeah,
at
with Richie for journaling and
journaling,
ideas
and
around journaling.
yep, and that's 7:30 your time, so 2:30 Eastern.
I'm
Um,
nodding, but I don't know.
yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Um, Pamela Batchelor said, "So comforting. I hope to see you
Oh,
both soon. Thanks, guys.
thank you, Pam.
I am. Am I somewhere on the tube tomorrow? Um, the joke is, I do my stuff on Mondays and Tuesdays regularly, and I am not anywhere tomorrow, but I am two places on Friday. So just like and subscribe, you'll find me. I'll post it. But Candy and I were talking about this stuff I love. This makes me very happy. So
Yeah,
I
and
can
you're
I
very
could do
good
this
at
all
it.
day. Aw, thank you. I try. So, everybody, please remember to like and subscribe to Candy Soul and Soil. Links to all of her channels are below. And everyone, very much take care. And we'll do this. And then, bye, everybody.